Okay.
Do you really know what games are being played behind the scenes right now? Have you ever wondered how today's politics, economy, and conflicts are quietly reshaping your everyday life? This story will reveal the truths the mainstream news never tells you. In today's world, the old game of power is being rewritten in ways most people don't even notice. Where once a few superpowers dominated the global stage, now emerging nations and regional alliances are challenging that status quo. Countries like China and India are expanding their economic and military influence, while traditional Western powers face internal divisions and economic pressures that weaken their grip. At the same time, new players, tech billionaires, multinational corporations, and even powerful non state actors are shaping policies behind closed doors. Trade deals, defense pacts, and energy partnerships are no longer just formal agreements, they're strategic moves in a silent war for control. Even small nations are learning to play this game, leveraging their geographic or resource advantages to get a seat at the big table. The new game of power is more complex, with shifting loyalties and unpredictable alliances. It's not just about armies anymore, it's about data, resources, influence, and narratives. The people often see only the surface, the handshakes, the summits, but beneath that is a ruthless competition where every nation is trying to survive and thrive in an increasingly unstable world. And those who understand this game, they hold the real power. While leaders play their power games, it's ordinary people who feel the impact the most, and the global economy sits on a knife's edge because of it. Wars, trade disputes, and political sanctions may look like distant headlines, but they quietly push food prices up, drain your savings, and shrink your opportunities. Meanwhile, inflation eats into every paycheck, making even basic needs feel like luxuries. Behind closed doors, powerful countries print money, make secretive debt deals, and impose economic rules that benefit the few while the majority struggle to keep up. Think about it. How often do you see deep analysis of why a war really started, who profits from it, and who writes the checks? Or how a protest is spun to look violent to justify a crackdown, or how corporations influence government policy while the media stays silent because the same corporations pay for their ads. Even social media is part of this game. Misinformation spreads like wildfire, while genuine voices are buried under an avalanche of noise. In every country, you'll see ordinary people rising up, marching on the streets, raising slogans, demanding justice and change. But how much power does the public really have when the system is designed to keep them just strong enough to protest, but too weak to win? Look closely and you'll see a pattern. Every time people unite to challenge the status quo, the ruling elite find new ways to divide, distract, or suppress them. Peaceful protests are often met with harsh crackdowns or slowly drowned out by political promises that are never truly kept. But until the public learns to see through the divide and rule tactics and unites beyond political or ethnic lines, their power remains scattered. Real change doesn't come just from marching in the streets, it comes when people realize their true strength lies in staying informed, united, and impossible to ignore. For decades, people thought of floods, droughts, and storms as purely natural events, acts of nature that we simply had to survive. But today, it's impossible to ignore the human fingerprints all over these disasters. Climate change is no longer a distant threat. It's here, intensifying every hurricane, heat wave, and wildfire. And the sad truth is, those who contribute the least to the problem often suffer the most. Even aid can become a tool for control. Loans for recovery come with strings attached, making struggling nations more dependent. Meanwhile, local voices calling for real environmental justice are often ignored. The bottom line, climate disasters are no longer just about survival, they're about power, profit, and control. And if people don't wake up to this reality, they'll keep paying the price for a crisis they didn't cause. When leaders make grand promises, new policies, foreign aid, billion-dollar development deals, they often sell them as solutions to public problems. But dig deeper, and you'll find these solutions often hide carefully planned agendas that benefit the powerful far more than the people. Take foreign loans, for example. They're given in the name of progress, yet the repayment terms can trap entire generations in debt, forcing countries to sell their resources or bow to foreign influence just to stay afloat. And it's not just about governments, mega corporations, global institutions, and even tech giants quietly shape policies through lobbying and behind the scenes deals that never make it to the news. The result? The public cheers for promises that rarely deliver real change. Until people learn to read between the lines and follow the money, they'll remain pawns in a bigger game. Amid all the chaos, corruption, and hidden agendas, there is still one thing that keeps hope alive. People are waking up. Around the world, ordinary citizens are starting to question the narratives they've been fed for decades. Young people, especially, are refusing to stay silent. They're demanding accountability, fighting for climate justice, and using social media to expose lies that once stayed buried. Technology, despite its dangers, has also given people powerful tools to connect, learn, and organize like never before. One brave voice, amplified by millions, can spark global action in days. Yes, powerful forces still try to divide and distract us, but the growing awareness is a sign that the tide can turn. True hope lies not just in protesting injustice, but in building alternatives and refusing to accept a broken system as the only option. When people realize their collective power, real change stops being a dream and starts becoming reality. It's easy to feel overwhelmed when you see how deep the problems run: corruption, hidden deals, climate disasters, and endless conflict. But the truth is, we're not as powerless as we're made to believe. The first step is to stay awake, to question everything you hear, to look beyond headlines, and to dig for facts instead of blindly accepting the version of reality sold to you. Educate yourself about how systems really work, who profits from wars, who writes the laws, who benefits when people stay divided and afraid. Support independent journalism and voices that challenge the official narratives. They're often the ones bringing you the stories that matter most. Most importantly, remember that real change rarely happens overnight. It takes persistence, solidarity, and millions of ordinary people refusing to accept lies and exploitation as normal. The future is not written in stone. In the end, the story of current affairs isn't just about distant leaders or powerful corporations. It's about you, me, and the world we choose to build together. The chaos you see in the news today shapes the opportunities, freedoms, and challenges your children will face tomorrow. So don't just watch from the sidelines, feeling helpless or angry. Be the person who digs deeper, asks questions, and refuses to swallow half-truths. Share what you learn, stand by those who speak the truth, and don't underestimate the ripple effect your awareness can have. And that's the truth behind what's really happening around us, the stories they don't want you to see. If you found this eye-opening, don't just keep it to yourself. Share this video with someone who needs to hear it. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. What did you agree with? What did you see differently? I read every comment because your voice matters here. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.